Saving money in your early 20s can feel impossible. With constant expenses popping up and life moving faster than your bank account, it's easy to feel like you'll never get ahead. But over the last 3 months, I managed to save $10,000 without extreme budgeting and without cutting out the things that genuinely matter to me. I focused on a few simple habits that completely shifted my financial momentum. And today, I'm breaking down exactly how I did it so you can start building your own savings no matter where you're starting from. Before we get into this video, here's some background on me. I'm 22 years old and I just graduated with my degree in accounting. This past January, I started my first internship with a public accounting firm as I lived at home with my parents. I want to put a disclaimer out there. My situation is unique to me and I'm thankful to have come from fortunate circumstances. I'm not in any sort of personal debt and I'm very thankful to have a supportive set of parents. While I do consider myself fortunate, I do believe there are things that I did that can help anyone, regardless of their background. With that being said, let's get into the video. Tip number 1. Have a solid goal or goals. This is the foundation to everything. Without a solid why as to why you're saving, you won't get anywhere. For me, I wanted to save up so I could do some more traveling. Also, I needed money to do one more year of school. Make sure you define your goals in a clear and specific manner. This is important because a simple goal written as save $5,000 completely falls flat compared to a goal that says save $5,000 to go through one more year of school. One thing that completely changed the way I approach saving was finding the emotional why behind my goal. Logic helps you set the goal, but emotions are what actually drive behavior. This could be that you want freedom to travel without worrying about money holding you back. Or it could be that you want to reach financial stability so you don't have to stress about every unexpected expense. When you understand why the goal matters to you on a deeper level, it becomes so much easier to stay consistent and aligned with that goal. Another thing I do is break my goal down into smaller chunks. Setting a big goal like saving $10,000 can feel impossible, but when you break it down into smaller pieces, it becomes way more manageable and way less scary. Smaller goals keep you motivated because you can actually see yourself making progress. Saving isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Yes, it would be great to throw $1,000 into savings all at once, but that's not realistic and your brain knows it. Your brain needs to see progress to stay motivated. That's why breaking down your goal helps so much. Maybe that means setting the goal of saving $100 a week for one goal and $50 a week for another. It doesn't matter how small it is, what matters is that you're moving forward. Small wins add up, small wins keep you going, and small wins are what show your brain real progress. Finally, make sure you have an emergency fund as a goal. So many people say it online and there's good reason for that. This is what stands as a buffer between life and your goals. And what I mean by that is if you're hit with an unexpected medical expense, car expense, or you lose your job, the emergency fund ensures that you don't have to pull from the savings that matter to you. Without an emergency fund, your goals could be set back or you could be put into debt. The rule of thumb is always having around 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. If you have little to no living expenses, still have at least $5,000 saved up. On to tip number 2. Avoid lifestyle creep at all costs. If you haven't heard this before, lifestyle creep is when you start spending more money as you start making more money. This is one of the easiest traps to fall into, and it's the reason why so many people feel like they'll never get ahead. In my previous part-time jobs, I never saw a paycheck over $1,000. So when I started my internship and started making more in one paycheck than I would in an entire month, it felt amazing. And even though I was completely aware of what lifestyle creep was and I actively tried to avoid it, I eventually noticed that I developed increased spending habits. I would spend little to nothing during the week, and then once the weekend rolled around, I would go hang out with my friends, spend a bunch of money, maybe go out to a nice dinner with my girlfriend. Now, do I regret those nights? Absolutely not. These moments brought me fulfillment, and I do believe a little lifestyle creep is healthy. It's all about being intentional with your spend. But here's the thing, if you don't keep an eye on your spending, those little increases can stack up fast. Before you know it, your new spending level becomes your new norm, and you're right back at the start again, where saving feels impossible, even though you're making way more money than you were before. Lifestyle creep doesn't hit all at once, it sneaks in quietly, and if you're not paying attention, it can completely cripple your ability to save and reach your goals. Tip number 3, save first, spend later. A lot of people fall into the same trap. They get their paycheck saying, oh, I'll pay my rent, I'll buy my groceries, and whatever is left at the end of the week, I'll save. But this is where things go wrong. Most of the time, they end up spending their entire paycheck and there's nothing left for them to save. The truth is that people tend to spend whatever money is available to them. If you have $1,000 sitting in your checking account, you're way more likely to spend that entire $1,000. However, if you keep only $200 in your checking at a time and move the other $800 into your savings, you're much less likely to touch that $1,000. Your savings need to be prioritized. Before you do anything with your paycheck, put away your savings first. Think of it like a non-negotiable monthly bill. If you struggle with this, the best thing you can do is set up automatic transfers. This way, as soon as your paycheck hits your account, the money gets pulled out and saved before you even see it. This system works because it forces you to live off the money that's left, not your entire paycheck. This is the exact system that I used. I set up automatic transfers to make sure that I hit my savings goal, and on top of that, when I did get my paycheck, I transferred out even more money into my savings. And what's great about this is whatever money remains after saving and paying off your bills is money that you can freely spend, guilt-free. It's all about building momentum and habits that serve you. Tip number 4, focus spending on experiences rather than material purchases. In my own life, I found that I get way more fulfillment from spending money on experiences instead of buying new things. Let me give you an example. Recently, I bought a new monitor. It was a great upgrade from my previous one, and it finally let me have a 2-monitor setup. When I first got it, I was excited, and it felt great to unbox it, set it up, and use it. But to be honest, that feeling only lasted so long. Do I regret buying it? No. I use it every day and it helps me a lot. But the point is this, be careful about chasing that feeling of buying new things. Shopping is an expensive hobby. It's so easy to fall into that trap to keep chasing that feeling over and over again, but don't. Don't chase happiness through buying new things. Learn to practice delayed gratification. It's one of the most important skills you can have today. Personally, I keep a list. When I want something, I write it down and I don't touch it for at least a week. This helps me to avoid impulse buying. The world is filled with so many distractions and constant temptation to spend instead of save. Over the years, I've shifted my spending more toward experiences rather than material purchases. I love to travel, go to concerts, or do any sort of activity with my friends or girlfriend. These moments give me way more long-lasting fulfillment than any number of material purchases could. And here's why this matters to saving. When you focus more on experiences, you naturally spend less on random things you don't actually need. This makes your spending more intentional, leaving you more room to save without feeling deprived. When deciding how to spend your money, remember to choose the things that actually add value to your life. Many times, the memories that you make will outlast every item you buy. Tip number 5, look to increase your income. This is one of the biggest reasons I was able to save so much in such a short period of time. Don't get me wrong, cutting expenses is a great way to save more money, but there's only so much you can cut out before it starts hurting your well-being. Once you've removed all the obvious things such as unused subscriptions and random unnecessary purchases, you eventually hit a point where every extra cut feels like a sacrifice. You can only shrink your lifestyle so far before it feels restrictive. And one thing you should never cut out is anything that's an investment in yourself. For example, don't go canceling your gym membership, don't stop buying healthy foods if that's what supports your goals. These are investments in your physical and mental health that you shouldn't give up just to save a few extra dollars. This is why increasing your income matters so much. You're limited in how much you can cut, but your earnings potential has no ceiling. Whether it's through seeking a raise, finding a better job, or building a second income stream, raising your income gives you far more room to build wealth without sacrificing quality of life. For me, this meant taking on overtime hours when I was offered pay and a half because I knew that earning more would take me much further than cutting more. This gave me a couple $100 $10,000 every paycheck that I could put straight into savings. Increasing your income gives you freedom, it gives you breathing room, it lets you save, invest, and enjoy your life all at the same time. But at the end of the day, saving money isn't about having the perfect budget or cutting out everything you enjoy. It's about building habits that support your goals and staying consistent long enough to build real financial momentum. And that's how I saved $10,000 in 3 months. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and feel free to share your financial goals. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and drop a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.